Hi there, thanks for tuning in again. This week the video will be quite short and next week very likely as well, and the reasons you will find out in a moment. And until then I say as usual, thanks for watching. Yeah, I'm sitting here and a few minutes ago I was running into my old friend the Fox, who was somewhere back there, and I crossed paths with him. And then I sat down to film, and of course, once I started, I saw him just walking through again. So he is a very curious guy and is always around somewhere. So that is a nice thing. But let's get into my week and the reasons why it is quite short, or at least this video is quite short. And the reason behind it is, of course, that I didn't jinx it last week, but still my week was quite stressful and heavy with work. Main reason is that right now I am on PTO. I have 2 weeks of vacation because there's a FilmFest coming on, but I will talk about that in a second. But because of that, of course, I had to wrap up a lot of things, and this usually means more time. You need to make sure everything is wrapped up properly so that nothing is happening while you're away. On top of that, unfortunately, and that is the reason why I was a little bit stressed, is the fact that one of the colleagues from a different team, who likely thought they would do me a favor, was starting a process that they weren't supposed to do and to start. It is something our team had to start, and the result was that instead of work half an hour or something that I would usually had with that task, all of a sudden it was a task that I had to do manually. And that cost me almost 2 work days. So that, on top of wrapping everything up I needed to wrap up, resulted in me being very, very stressed and that I had a lot of stuff to do. But now it's wrapped up. I'm on vacation, and the Fantasy Film Fest will start in a few days on Wednesday. It will run for 8 days. I am there every year for almost 30 years. I started in 1996 with a season pass, and since then I was there with a season pass each year. So that is a tradition that I have and that I plan not to interrupt until the festival is running. So I will be there. It's usually somewhere between 8 and 12 days. This time it's 8 days. They are showing usually around 5 movies per day, so it will be a lot of stuff that I have to watch. And you can imagine that for that reason, on the weekends, I will not be able to film something, at least not something long. So I think either the video next week for the next weekend will be quite short, or it will be coming in later, because the festival runs until the next Wednesday. So maybe at that point I will post something, or I will just skip a week. But my plan, at least right now, and you can hear birds flying around me and nature sounds, so sorry about that. But yeah, I at least plan to do a short one. I cannot say if that really will happen. I will try. But now let's look at my food schedule. This week I was trying at least to have something that is a little bit richer than the last week's, not just meat. So I was experimenting a little bit, because I also read that when you are deep in ketosis, which I am right now, then you can use up to 50 grams of carbs per day. So I, of course, tried not to hit that mark, but I was going a little bit over the 25 here and there, and it worked. I'm still in ketosis, so that is the good news. And what I did was basically allowing me to have like a protein bar here and there, because you might remember that I bought those Snickers and Bounty bars and stuff like that. Those don't have much carbs. It's like 10 to 20 grams per bar, but it's still a lot if you are at the beginning of ketosis or a keto diet. So I was allowing me one of those this week, And I can allow something like that if I don't have much other carbs that day. On other days I was allowing myself to have a nice proper helping of salad again, because I love that salad. And a solid helping, even though vegetables and like cucumbers and iceberg salad doesn't have much carbs, it still adds up, especially with sauce. So a proper helping comes at around 20 grams of carbs already. I was allowing me something like that. I was throwing in and experimenting a little bit with putting in a little bit of cottage cheese as well. And one day I put in some walnuts just to see how that is changing the taste there in a keto-friendly way. I think I will go more pure in the future with that stuff. I mean, the walnuts was quite interesting and nice. The cottage cheese wasn't a perfect fit. But yeah, something like that was on my diet. And talking about diet, let's get into the weighting results, which this week are quite similar to last week, because I cannot say that it is a weight reduction. I again gained weight, 100 grams, which is not much, and it's the same amount as last week. But if you are on a diet, of course, the goal is to lose weight. And having 2 or 3 weeks in a row where you didn't lose weight, it's a little bit disappointing. I still feel more alert. I feel more awake and fresh doing keto, so that is a plus. I think I will stick with it a little bit longer, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully, it will eventually go down, and there is someone just jogging behind me in a few seconds. You will see that. Again, that is what happens if you film in the open, but it's fine, you know. So I will try to stick with keto for a little bit longer. I will not force it, come hell or high water, to stay in there if there is something that I have to eat and I'm not sure how much the amount in there will be. So I will try my best at least to not being thrown out. I will not force to be thrown out, but I again will also not bend backwards to guarantee that I stay under that limit. I mean, I will just experiment a little bit with it. If I'm throwing out of ketosis, then I will have to decide what to do next and if I go back in or not. But until then, and while the FilmFest is running, I will try to just live off meat-based snacks, cheese-based snacks and stuff like that, and have a little bit of vegetable like a cucumber with me, which I had in the last years as well and which worked out quite well. So I didn't have to change my complete regimen, I guess, but yeah, I will see how it works out. And with that being said, I hope the next week will be interesting for me for sure with the Fantasy Film Fest. It will be fun. How it will be for my weight loss, I don't know. I will find out. I hope your week was great. I hope the next week will be great for all of us. Stay healthy, enjoy whatever you like to do. And until next week, I say as always, thank you for watching.